Yeboah.
Kelvin, what does it mean to open your scoring account this season?
It's so important, and I'm so grateful because I feel like every time we come to Islands, that's how I get my breaking the goals in. So grateful for the fans, grateful for the team, and it's a good feeling.
Was that one of the easiest goals you've ever been able to score?
Finally, I got one easy. We were talking about this. It was actually funny because with Cam, we were talking about second post goals, and he said, "Oh, you got 5 goals on the second post." And as soon as he said it, I was there, and then it happens.
Did you feel like you should have had a penalty a couple minutes earlier before the goal?
You feel so, huh? You also feel so. Yes, I for me it was quite amazing. Why? Because I go to shoot, he touched me, actually kicked me, and then I fall. But the referee was like, after he watched the VAR, he was like, I think he also took some minutes because he was also not too sure. But we accept the decision. But
Is it hard to stand around for 5 minutes doing nothing when it's freezing outside?
yeah, definitely hard.
Eric earlier in the week at training was talking about how important it was to get off to a good start at home, considering you guys were a little up and down at home last year. Do you feel like this set a good tone for what type of home team you guys will be this year?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we did a very great job defensively in the midfield, and then we get a goal. So I think it was an amazing start, especially in the home. So yeah.
What are you and Tani trying to do to get on the same page more often?
I mean, today he assists me, so it was actually a good connection there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we are working on every training, every time on the pitch too. We try to combine and create space for each other, and so that the other person also can have the opportunity to score. I think I set him up, and he had some chance. He set him up, and I have some chance. So it was really good till now.
In the first half, do you feel like it was opportunities that you had that you didn't put away? Was that more frustrating, or was it more like you just felt that it would come in the second half?
Yeah, the way I see it is like every time you miss, you're one step closer. And I knew that, I had some chances where maybe other days I would have scored, maybe not, but it didn't happen. But I knew that this game would have for sure given me a goal.
Going back to preseason, playing next to Tani, do you feel like you're getting more comfortable game by game?
Absolutely. Last year when I came in, I played alone. I was also comfortable playing alone, but to create me, the coach think to create for the team, for myself, to have, let's say, even more threat. So playing with two we can be very dangerous, and now we are getting the hang of it. Game by game, we are getting better.
What do you feel like that threat is with two guys up top? What do you feel like that does to challenge a defense?
Yeah, absolutely. The defense have to think about one more person for sure, so you can use the movement of the other striker, so you have more space. So having another striker there is always helpful.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Thank you very much. Thank you.
On a night like this, does it feel like you're just running and pressing and just waiting for a defensive mistake most of the night?
A little bit of both. I think that's always the emphasis of a lot of our games. I think we're really, really solid defensively, so we're always going to wait for the other team's mistakes or try and create it ourselves. But, I think you watch our game against LA, it's similar to this game as well. I feel like that's probably going to be a trend with the way we play. There's going to be some games where we have more of the ball, but, with a ball-possessing team like Montreal usually is, that's probably how the game was going to go. But we knew we could hit them on the counter, and we knew we'd be dangerous when we won those balls in between.
I know it's only 2 games, but do you feel like that's where your identity is starting to form as a team, is defensively?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think going back to last year, that's where we were the last 10 games. We're one of the best defensive teams in the league. And I think coming into this season, it's definitely been an emphasis for us. And, having that strong base allows us to be able to work on other things offensively. And I think because we are so strong defensively, we're just going to continue to improve on the offensive end and just become a more rounded team.
Do you feel like they're the points of emphasis that you and Kelvin are trying to work on as you guys try to get more comfortable with two strikers?
I think the biggest thing that the coaches have tried to stress to us is just to be closer to each other. I think because we're both, we have our different attributes and traits that there's sometimes we tend to, I might drift wide or he might come short, and then you see the gap between us is a little wide. So the coaches have just tried to tell us to stay as close as possible to each other and play off each other, whether it's on flick-ons, whether it's one connecting with the other. So I think that's the biggest thing for us, and then just making sure that we're always around each other a little bit, so there's at least one option, because sometimes the midfielders can't get there on time, but I'm always going to be right next to him for that.
In those moments where you sort of have a yard of space, is it difficult to have two things on your mind rather than just the one thing on your mind of getting the goal and shooting?
Yeah, are you talking about the first?
I'm just talking in general, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. I think if you're on a breakaway, okay, it's just me, and it's obviously a lot easier to process things. But if there's other things going around, I think the great players are able to process those things really quickly and pick the best option. And I think that's something that I'm always trying to do, and I can always work on and improve for sure.
How would you describe the emphasis on set pieces? Obviously, that's where you guys were able to get your goal. What have you seen from Eric on how much that is emphasized?
For us, it's just making sure we're not always too, worried about that first contact. We're always worried about like who gets the second contact, and you see on the goal that we get, we fight for that first one. It's not clean, but then it's the second contact that leads to the goal. So it's just making sure that you're mobile and you're ready for wherever the ball might drop, and just we work on where our runs are supposed to end up. And I think today we executed. We're going to get 5-6 a game, but if we can execute on one like we did today, we can definitely just up our goal contributions.
Speaking of goal contributions, what does it mean to you to kind of have one kind of right away here in the second game?
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I think last year I started with the first game, so I'm a little slower this year, but it's always good to contribute. I think when you can contribute and get the win from it, it always feels much better. And I think for us, it's just good that we got the win. We probably could have had a couple more goals. I myself could have probably had a goal as well, but it just helps us build perfectly for next week.
Kind of to go off that a little bit, is that the feeling, like you're happy with 3 points, but given the way the game kind of flowed and the way, would you feel like there was a couple chances that were left out there? Or how's the overall feeling about walking off?
Oh, I think we're definitely happy. I think we put together a complete game, 90 minutes. We got the clean sheet, so there's definitely things that you're happier about. But I think for me, I try to be always as hard as I can on myself, and there's probably moments I'm going to watch back and want back again. So I think leave positive, but there's always definitely room for improvement.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.